It's time for Talon Talk with the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade on AFN the Eagle, serving America's best.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 2:07 this afternoon, a beautiful Wednesday, May 27th. I'm sitting here in the studio with
Sergeant Jesse Smith from the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade.
That's right, he is one of the public affairs personnel over there. What's your MOS? What do you guys call yourselves?
Public affairs specialist.
That was close. Cool. So we've been in the studio here for the past couple minutes, kind of talking about some of the things we're going to bring to you this hour. And I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, as an airman, all this is news to me. This is, I feel like I'm getting a little Army schooling right now.
Hey, I mean, you guys came out and participated in a couple of the events that we're going to be talking about, so...
Well, our guys, not me guys, but yeah. No, so... kind of give us a preview of what we're going to be looking into this hour.
So we're going to talk about the Mungadai Challenge. Some of the senior leaders from 2CAB went and participated. Soldiers and airmen from across the pen went to this event, and that happened last week. And also last week was the Manchu Mile, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit. And then we're going to get into the this overwater training that some of our pilots will be doing next week.
Yeah, now we haven't talked about that at all, so that's completely. I think I can infer what that is, but I mean it sounds pretty hardcore.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time for those pilots. And then we're also gonna delve into this 2-6 spur ride, which is kind of a tradition that cavalry units have. So.
It sounds like a tradition, from what I understand. It sounds traditional as traditional can be. Cool. Well, hey, there's that. There's your preview for the hour. This right here is Eddie Grant with Electric Avenue. Stay tuned to AFN Osan, the Eagle. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, 2:15 right now. So Sergeant Smith is here with me in the studio, and we're going to talk about something pretty interesting here, the Mungadai Challenge.
Yeah, the Mungadai Challenge, they did it last week. I know from 2CAB we had 5 senior NCOs go and compete in this challenge, and what it was is a 58-hour long, just grueling obstacle after obstacle. These guys are getting 3 hours of sleep a night.
Yeah.
That's it. They're having to share between 2 people 1 MRE for the whole day. So I mean, I know one of the senior NCOs said that what him and his partner would do is they'd take 1 scoop for one person, then the other person would take a scoop and go back and forth like that. Other people, they'd get to pick 1 item, the other person would pick an item, but it's just like, that was an intense, I mean, they said it was one of the most difficult things they have done in the military, and these guys have been in for 25 years, so it was crazy.
Sounds awesome. I say from my air-conditioned office, but it's so. I kind of feel like I was reading, they have like online forums about the military, or whatever. I was browsing through one of them like a couple of years ago, and someone asked the question like, "How do you think in the perfect world, how do you think people should be promoted?" And someone said like, I think everyone should just get in like a cage, do like a death match, and just fight, and whoever wins like gets promoted. And I thought like, that's stupid, but wow, that's. But it turns out,
of doing it.
Yeah, it turns out that the Mungadai Challenge is kind of spawned from that, right? Like in a real stretch of the analogy,
right. The Command Sergeant Major Spano, the 2ID Command Sergeant Major, he came yesterday and recognized those 5 senior NCOs that did the challenge, and he talked about the where the challenge came from, and he said that Genghis Khan actually did these challenges for his senior leaders to get put into their positions. Yeah. And now, it's not used exactly for those methods. It's just a way to challenge yourself and show that what you can do.
Yeah, that's really cool. And then the Manchu Mile.
Right. Last week, first ABCT, another brigade inside of 2ID.
What does that stand for, ABCT?
Armored Combat Brigade.
Okay, gotcha.
And our Armored Combat Team, and they did this Manchu Mile. It's a 25-mile ruck march, and it's crazy. And it's an annual thing. This was actually the last one because First ABCT is actually closing down here pretty soon.
Okay.
And they're going to become a rotational force, just like our 2-6 cavalry unit is right now. So it was the last one, and so I got to go witness that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Now you witnessed it, or you were part of it?
I was part of it.
And so how was that?
It was crazy. I mean, the first 4 miles are pretty much uphill the whole way, and this isn't just like your little slope. It's crazy.
It's Korean hills. Yeah, I got you. Cool. That sounds like a pretty hardcore weekend you had there. But hey, though, folks, we'll be back after this break with your weather fuel and exchange rate. Stay tuned to AFN Osan, the Eagle. That was Kelly Clarkson with Heartbeat Song. I'm back here in the studio with Sergeant Smith.
How's it going, guys?
So we're talking about 2-6 Spirit. So you were filling me in about this at the beginning of the hour, and it is the most Army Hua thing that am I doing it right? Hua? Am I doing it right?
Hua,
okay.
yeah.
Just making sure. All right, yeah, so...
You got to put a little bit more grunts into it.
Yeah, all right.
But, so 2-6, they're our rotational unit. They're doing the 9-month deployments. We just started this a few rotations ago, and the last unit that rotated out, 617 Cav, I was able to go to their last spur ride, and it was a whole day event. They did water obstacles, they did a revised team PT test, and they just did a bunch of events, and at the end of the day, if their team did well enough, they earned their spurs as cavalry do. And you don't have to be cavalry to earn your spurs. You just have to be in the cavalry unit, so that's pretty cool. And so these guys, they're going to go through later this week. This one is a 3-day one, so we might see more events, more variety of events. I'm pretty excited to go out there and watch them earn their spurs.
Now, it's a pretty big thing for them to actually get the spurs, because so I was confused because, cavalry nowadays means vehicle-mounted units,
Right,
correct? And
right.
so I was figuring out, why do they need spurs to drive Humvees? But, whatever. So for our audience who doesn't know, spurs are the little metal spikes that go in the back of your boot for when cavalry was horse-mounted.
Right.
And they actually needed to, poke the horses in the sides, in the flanks, to get them to go. But spurs, you guys still actually mount spurs on...
Yeah, you won't see them wearing them every day, kind of thing. But it's the same with the Stetson hat. It's just a big tradition for those cavalry guys, and they take great pride in earning their spurs. So it's a really important day for those guys.
That's pretty cool. So and then we were talking about an unidentified base in the southeast United States who. They have hurricane exercises for if a hurricane comes through, and their version of running that exercise was putting quote unquote simulated sandbags, up. I guess where they were supposed to mount a sandbag wall, they just put one down there with a post-it note saying, "Hey, this is simulating a wall of sandbags." So that's how that base, I guess, does exercises.
Yeah, because we were talking about how important exercises are over here and how serious we take them.
Right,
so.
And so there's an exercise coming up that they're taking a lot more seriously than Post-it notes. What's Gambler Stakes?
The HHC company from 22 up at K16, they are going to do what they're calling it Gambler Stakes. What it is a platoon exercise evaluation. So what they're going to do, they're going to start out with a ruck march. They're going to end up doing weapons quals. They're going to do personnel recovery, which is they're going to show that they're able to stay alive if and get rescued in case they get downed in enemy territory. And so that's going to be pretty awesome to go see. I know I'm going to be out there at some point to take pictures and see that awesome training. And at the end of the day, they're going to be evaluated on their ability to work as a platoon. And these aviators, they don't always necessarily work at a platoon size level. They're usually working 1 to 2 aircraft teams, but now they're going to be working in 3 to 4 aircraft teams, which doesn't seem like a big difference, but it is when it comes to flying helicopters. So it's a great opportunity for those guys to work at a platoon size level.
Awesome. There it is. Cool. Well, hey, we'll be back little past 45 after with some more information on a overwater mission.
Yeah, so it's going to be a really cool overwater mission that we're going to talk about.
Awesome. Well, hey, this is your Area 3 radio newscast, and following that, Nicki Minaj with Starships. You're on AFN Osan, the Eagle. 2:47 right now at the studio. I'm back here with Sergeant Smith from 2CAB over at Camp Humphreys.
Yeah, 2CAB land.
Oh, yeah, 2CAB land. So, so we're talking about an overwater mission, it says on this paper. Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, so we've got, guys, I don't know if all of our listeners are aware of our NEO operations here on the pen. What it is non-combatant evacuation operations. Yeah. And so it's just our plan to get all of our civilians, non-combatants, family members, pets, everybody off the pen in case of an emergency. And so we just had a little exercise a few weeks ago to make sure that all the family's paperwork and all of that was squared away. And some of the family members got to actually go up in Chinook helicopters and do a little circle round just for fun for the families. And right now, this next week, our pilots are going to get the training they need necessary for NEO operations.
That's probably a pretty important step.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah.
And so what they're going to be doing is they're going to fly a 3-day operation. They're going to fly out to Japan, which is where they would take all the family members in case of an emergency. So they're doing this over water. It's very, because flying a helicopter over water, it can be, Yeah. They're going to be flying. This paper says that they will be flying over the water for about 30 to 35 minutes, and something could happen. And I know prior to doing this training, they had to do what they call a dunker training, and it's in case of they crash into the water. Yeah. And so that's pretty important. I haven't gotten to go see that. I've seen pictures, and it looks pretty intense.
Yeah.
So
for all our audience who doesn't know, the dunker is where they put you in a skeleton version of a helicopter, and they drop it into a pool and rotate it. Yeah, they dunk it
into a little pool, and you have to figure your way out.
Which I guess the key is seeing breathing out and seeing where your bubbles go. That's up.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I'd imagine being in a metal can spinning underwater would be pretty
frightening.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so they'll be flying out there day 1. Day 2, they're doing a LPD, Leader Professional Development session. They're going to go to the Hiroshima Dome and doing a little session. The senior leaders will be just teaching some key development qualities and lessons to the junior leaders. So. And then day 3, they'll fly back.
Hiroshima Dome. It sounds like the boys go in, men come out.
Right.
Cool. And then you had. So was that?
Yeah, that's it. So that's a pretty important mission, though, especially for the people that have family members here. Yeah. They definitely want those pilots to get that training.
For sure. And then, so ladies and gentlemen, for about 10 minutes ago, Sergeant Smith sat there and he's like, "Oh, I know I wanted to talk about something. I know." And you accomplished a feat of man. Most people, I've never been able to recover a lost thought like that, but you pulled it from the depths. And so you wanted to bring this up.
Yeah, literally yesterday, I interviewed a Chief Warrant Officer to Adrian Wilson. He's the property book officer for 2CAB. And what he did this past weekend is he went with Team USA here in Korea to the 7th annual Mini World Cup here in Korea, and there was 8 different teams from different countries. There Nepal, Brazil, to name a few. And they played 3 games total, and they actually made it to the final and beat Nepal 2-1. So that was pretty cool. I know he told me last year they finished in 4th, kind of disappointing. Yeah. So this year they won the whole thing, so it was really awesome for them. I know I love soccer, so I would have loved to have been there. I didn't even know about it, but they have practice. It's the 8th Army team. It was made up of all soldiers from Camp Casey, Yongsan, and Camp Humphreys, and there was one DA civilian that also participated in the team, and it's the 8th Army team. They do practice every Tuesday and Thursday from 5 to 8 at Yongsan, Captain
like
Rose, if you want to. Yeah, and Chief Wilson said that they take anybody that wants to play. So
Gotcha.
if you get the chance to go up to Yongsan Tuesdays and Thursdays, do it.
Sounds like a cool deal. Yeah. It's, so hey, that's congratulations to them.
Yeah.
For winning that. Cool. Well, hey, we'll be back after this short break with your weather, fuel, and exchange rate. Stay tuned to AFN Osan, the Eagle. Awesome. Now, Sergeant Smith, you wanted to make a mention of a pretty big deal that's going on this Saturday.
Yeah, Gary Sinise and the Lieutenant Dan Band are going to be out at Camp Humphreys Independence Field this Saturday. So I just wanted to make sure that all the 2-cab soldiers, all the listeners know about it, and they head out there on Saturday night to enjoy a pretty awesome night. So yeah.
Awesome. Really cool. Yeah, Lieutenant Dan Band. We were talking about that earlier. They play mostly cover music. I think they might have a couple original songs, but really talented artists. It's Gary Sinise, who played Lieutenant Dan, traveling with a bunch of really, really talented people. So really, really a spectacle. And I think you had the opportunity to meet him.
Yeah?
I don't want to like speak out of.
Right,
don't quote me on that.
right.
I'm not gonna go on record saying that, even though I just broadcast it on the radio. But either way,
They may or may not.
yeah. And either way, the chance to see him perform
Yeah.
is pretty cool in itself. So, Sergeant Smith, I want to thank you for coming on
Of
out.
course, always great time to be
It was a
here.
pleasure. Yeah. Cool. Well, hey, until then, we'll see you guys next week for Talon Talk.
Of course.
All right. You are listening to AFN Osan, the Eagle.